Hello and welcome back to another video from the Cricket Badges. Today we're joined by Binary010 and we are looking into predictions for the IPL season and just a fun little guess at how the teams are going to go, and then we'll join after the IPL and see how well we've done. So welcome onto the show. How are you doing?
I'm great. Thanks for having me here. It's an honor.
So the first thing we wanted to discuss was the teams. We picked our top 4 teams in no particular order because otherwise that would be too hard, and then we'll see who gets the most right.
So I picked RCB, the Mumbai Indians, the Delhi Capitals, and the new Punjab Kings. I chose RCB because of a very interesting stat I read. So Gautam Gambhir's elder daughter was born in 2014. KKR won 2014. 2016, David Warner's second daughter was born. SRH won 2016. Late 2018, Rohit Sharma's daughter was born. 2019 and 2020 was won by Mumbai Indians. Now 2021, Virat Kohli's daughter is born. You can see where I'm headed with that. Second prediction, Mumbai Indians. That's a pretty obvious reason why I'm going with the Mumbai Indians. Then we have the Delhi Capitals. I think Delhi Capitals this year are extremely well rounded. They have Shikhar Dhawan in good form. We've got Prithvi Shaw, who scored a double century in Vijay Hazare, even though he wasn't in top-notch form for the Australian tour. You've got Kagiso Rabada and Andrik Nortje, who are extremely good bowlers. They proved their worth last year. And you have got Akshar and Ashwin. For Punjab, I just feel that they have an extremely strong batting order this time. They've roped in Malan and they have a lot of batting options. So I feel that this year that batting will give them a bit of edge, but they do have some areas to work on for the bowling.
So now my picks. I picked a few same to you. So Mumbai, Delhi and RCB. I picked those 3. They all had good seasons, Mumbai especially last year. But I think RCB, they've had, in my opinion, they've had a very good auction. So I think that they've got a really strong side. But we say that every year. Then Mumbai, I think that speaks for itself, as you said. Delhi, like you said, well-rounded side. They look like a good side, bit like RCB. They've always underperformed, really. And then my 4th one, I went differently. I went for Rajasthan because they've always got a strong side. They've always got good players. Rajasthan, they always go for the stars, but I think this year they've gone for more Indian talent with Shivam Dube and then Chris Morris, because Jofra Archer was alone last year. He wasn't helped by anyone. So I think the addition of Chris Morris really helps. Alright, so the next thing we wanted to talk about was the top run scorers in the competition. So we picked 4 people who we think are going to be in that top 4 run scorers. So who did you go for?
So I picked AB de Villiers, Sanju Samson, Ishan Kishan, Shikhar Dhawan and Quinton de Kock. So Ishan Kishan is a player who's been in red-hot form in the Vijay Hazare and in the Syed Mushtaq Ali. AB de Villiers, again, that's an obvious choice. That speaks for himself. Sanju Samson has been made the captain of Rajasthan and he has performed well under pressure. So I do feel he's going to play well this IPL. Then we have Shikhar Dhawan, who I feel has been out of the team for too long. Since the Australian ODIs, I think he hasn't been in the team. So I think he's going to want to prove himself and he's going to come back strong. And then we have Quinton de Kock, and he's been a player who's performed for Mumbai in the last 2 years. So I think he's going to keep that up because he knows he has heavy competition to stay in the team with Chris Lynn.
So I went with de Villiers like you, and obviously his talent is just so good, you have to pick him, sort of. And then he will perform. And then I went for Padikkal because he had that's a risky pick, whether he'll do well also in his second season. But he did so well last year, but that I think he's probably going to do well this year, but you never know, he might flop. With Surya Kumar Yadav, he's been such a consistent performer, underrated performer. And even last year he was up there in the top 10. So I think hopefully he has a really good season, and I think I'm backing him to do that. And then my last one, I think he's not, I don't think he's in the greatest of form at the moment, but he's such a talented batsman, Nicholas Pooran, I went for him. He's such an explosive batsman. I just think he has the ability to just rack up runs really quickly and be really successful for Punjab. And then quickly moving on to highest strike rate, the players with the highest strike rate. So I'll go first on this one then, because you've gone first on the other couple. So I went for Puran. Obviously, I said he's so explosive. And then Pollard, obviously Gale. They both are just so aggressive players and so explosive. And then Hardik Pandya went for. So a lot of power-packed players in the IPL, but I think those four for me were the most likely to score at such a fast rate. What about you?
I have two players who are similar to your list. I have Pollard and Gale, because Pollard, he just hit those 6 sixes of Akile Dhananjay. You can't not pick Pollard. I also have Chris Gale, because even though he is not performed well in the Sri Lankan series, he is such a player. He will always bounce back and he will perform and score. So I feel that Gale will be up there. Now instead of Hardik Pandya, I want for RCB talent AB de Villiers, because he usually gets to play at the end of the innings after Virat and Padikkal have done their magic.
So the next thing obviously is bowlers. Let's move on to them. The top wicket takers, who do you think they're going to be?
Players last time who were on the top of the purple cap list, Rabada and Bumrah. You can't not go for Rabada and Bumrah. Now the third one will obviously then be a spinner, because if you've got top two pacers, the third one is usually a spinner. And last time the only spinner in the top 5 was Yuzvendra Chahal, so I'm going for Yuzi Chahal. So I also feel that Jofra Archer has performed well for Rajasthan Royals, and with the support he is getting this year, I feel Jofra Archer deserves to be in that list.
Alright, so my top 4, I went with Bumrah, obviously. And then I went with Chahal as well. And then I went for a bit of a surprise, sort of, with Chakravarti. I think he's a really quality young spinner, and I don't know how young he is, but he's a quality spinner, and he's bowled really well in the past couple of IPL seasons, and unfortunately missed out to injury in that Australia tour, but I think he's going to do well. And then obviously Jofra Archer as well, like you explained why he's there. And then let's talk about some talking points from the IPL auction that just went by. The curious case of Glenn Maxwell. How do you think he's going to go? Do you think he's going to do well this year?
Not much to say here. It can go either way, but we've seen a pattern since 2014. He flops in the IPL, goes big for Australia, plays well in the Big Bash in Australia. The teams go big for him, flops again. That's a pattern we've seen with Glenn Maxwell, and that's what makes him such an interesting talking point. So this year with RCB and the support he's going to get with ABD, I'm reluctantly saying he's going to play well, but I'm very reluctantly I'm saying this.
Yeah, you could never be sure with Maxwell, can you, either way. What do you think about Moeen Ali to CSK? Some people were criticizing it, some people were happy with it. What do you think?
I'm pretty happy with the buy, because firstly, what were Chennai looking at? CSK, they were looking at a off spinner who can bat, or a batsman who can bowl off spin. So they've got two players to fit the category. You've got Krishnappa Gautam, the all-rounder they roped in this year, as well as Moeen Ali. And you also saw them going big for Maxwell, but they didn't get Maxwell. So Moeen Ali, I think, was the best backup they could get for him, and they did get him. So he can open the batting with Du Plessis, because Watson is here this year. He can bat in the middle order and in the lower order, and he can bowl your 4 overs. He's proved to be extremely economical. So he is a good buy, in my opinion, for the Chennai Super King.
Also, another talking point is Pujara to CSK. What are your thoughts on that? He said he wanted to play in the IPL and he got his wish.
I'm extremely happy, because I'm a huge fan of Pujara. But I don't personally see how he will fit into the squad, except if they drop Ambati Raidu.
You say they'll struggle to fit him in. Also, with the return of Suresh Raina this year as well.
Correct, yeah.
You'd assume he'd be straight into the team. So,
but under the leadership of Dhoni also, that's an interesting thing, because Dhoni will probably back Pujara. He backs his players. That's a very important good thing about Dhoni.
Morris, was he worth it for RR, do you think?
I have my doubts over there, because Morris is someone who bowled very well for RCB last year, but he was not in top-notch batting form, and he's prone to injuries. So I feel that Morris won't be someone who's going to end up playing the entire season. Who won't play the entire season. He is prone to injury, so even if he shows up, he might not play the entire season, and his batting also has some questions. He is a super bowler, but you do have other super bowlers like Jofra Archer. So Morris is one big question mark for RR if it was worth it or not.
Right, so now it's time for the quickfire round where we ask each other some quick benchmark sort of questions and then we'll review them at the end of the IPL. So, my first question to you is, do you think Ben Stokes will score 2 or more 50s in this IPL?
True, he's gonna score two for. He's gonna definitely score two, but I don't think he's gonna score more than three. So let's go with true.
I think I'm gonna go true. If he has a good season, he'll score 2 or more, but we'll see.
So Shah Rukh Khan, will he play for the Punjab Kings? Will he start for Punjab Kings?
True. I'm gonna go. He is gonna start for the Punjab Kings.
I'm gonna go with false because I don't think he has place as a starter.
So my next one for you is, do you think Rohit Sharma is going to score 400 or more runs?
True. Let's go with it true. Because I'm a huge Rohit fan, so I'm going to go with true. Even though he hasn't performed as his best over the last couple of IPLs, I do feel with the form he's coming in with after the England series, he will have that confidence and the team management will give him that support. So as long as he remains injury free, he will score those 400 runs.
I'm going to go controversially probably false. I don't know. He's been playing alright. He's been playing decent, and he got 100 in that England series as well. But I just think he won't get it this IPL. I don't know. Just an inkling, gut feel.
Andrik Nortje, will he get 15 wickets or more?
True. As long as he stays fit and he plays all the games, I think he will get 15 or more wickets. But if he gets injuries, then that'll be a problem.
I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think he's getting 15 or more wickets. He's had a good season last year. I don't think he's going to repeat that.
My one for you is Ishan Kishan hit the most sixes last year with 30 sixes. Do you think he's going to hit 20 or more sixes this year?
Definitely, 100%.
Okay. I'm going to go
100%. He's coming in.
I'm going to go true as well because of his form.
He's coming in with good form.
Yeah. I'm going to go true as well
Yeah,
because
exactly.
of his
And
form. Yeah.
not only his form, the support he gets from the Mumbai squad and how well he fits into the team combination. Josh Butler, 26s, yes or no? 20 or more, yes or no?
This is a bit harder than the Ishan Kishan one. I'm going to go false. What about you?
I'm going to go false as well for three simple reasons. He hasn't really been the Josh Butler since he left Mumbai Indians in 2018. He has in 2017. Sorry, he hasn't been that same Josh Butler. He has played well, but he hasn't performed like that. They won't start with him as an opener as we saw in the last season. He's going to bat down the order, which is a huge mistake according to me. I feel that Rajasthan should make Butler open. And lastly, there's a high probability I'm going to get this answer wrong. But even if I go false, I won't lose anything because you also gone false.
Yeah.
If I get this wrong.
So that concludes our IPL predictions and sort of discussion. Please make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps out our channel. And we'll be back with a video very soon. All right. Bye.